Alexander Vallejo. It's coming from the Dominican Republic, and he's working on research at the institute specialized on high studies. Can be the translation. And he has a background as mechanical engineer with a master in renewable energy technologies and a PhD in energy management for sustainable development. So then you will let us know a little bit more about Dominican Republic.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to this space to share knowledge about the smart wind energy. I am Alexander from Dominican Republic. I work in the energy sector by 10 years, academic by 50 years. This is our work about the key factors that influencing in the urban wind energy, applying to the case study in our country. We're talking about the introduction, wind energy assessment, strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats factors, sub category, as well as the analytic and hierarchy process analysis to the prioritization of the factors, the result and discussion, and some recommendation. And the papers that we have working already in our processes. So this is our country. The Dominican Republic is a Caribbean island in the American side. Yeah, as we know, the decarbonization is very important to achieving the sustainable development to globally, no. And in our country, we have the commitment to reduce the emission, the greenhouse gas emission, by 20% less than to the base year. And as we know, the pandemic and the conflict by the Russian and Ukraine have been some problems to our country that all fuels are imported. The price of fuel go up 5-7 times. We are looking for sustainable alternatives to energy harnessing locally near to demand. And the renewable energy, especially the wind and PV solar technology, have grown near for 16%. In the end, the system of smart wind turbines is very low. We have 250 megawatts in net metering by PV in residential and commercial sector, but the smart wind turbine is not identified. So our goal is to identify the potential to the smart wind turbines integrating into the building, is near to the buildings, or consider to the next architectural buildings to be then developing in the next oncoming years. And as well near to the highways and rail trains and something like that. In this map, we can see the urban energy estimation for wind harnessing purpose in the urban area is very low. Investigation in the tropic area, normally in Europe and China, have the most contributions. And in the right side, we can see the flow chart to the main steps by the investigation. When the characterization of the area is the first steps, wind energy assessment, wind turbine selection, annual energy estimation, and environmental evaluation and resilience assessment is very low appears in the framework of methodology that we analyze in near to 48 papers. So the environmental resilience and economic analysis are not frequently used. So as we are a Caribbean island in the tropic, we normally exposed to hurricane, tropical storm. So the resilient assessment to be in consideration the tropical storm and something like that affect our smart system, we have to be in mind the wind recovery, another process in the resilient assessment to the electrical installation. So this Sankey diagram shows that the authors around the world to the 48 papers. This is from the countries, as you can see, United Kingdom have the most investigation to the urban wind energy, especially to energy harnessing in urban areas. So the Italy and China have the second most bigger country that has been reported investigation. So the country in the tropical area are very low. We can see in the tropical area, not tropical. Normally, the Nordic countries have the most reported. And as well, in the last column, we can see the methods adopted where the on-site measurement is the most popular, self-weather simulation as well, and numerical weather prediction for his wind atlas. And the wind tunnel and analytical methods has very low reporting because the cost of the imprecision of that methods like the analytical. This diagram show the keywords more reported in the around 9,000 papers from the Scopus, Springer, and MDPA editorials, when we can see the trends when the sustainable development and energy transition, circular economy, wind energy in urban areas are the most novel publication and hot topics now. So concerning that, this presentation, we have shown the framework to the urban energy assessment and the SWOT AHP analysis. And this is a hybridization to complement the urban wind energy traditional framework. As we know, normally the wind energy have the first 4 steps in the top of chart to the urban wind energy. When we select the site, the wind energy assessment, smart wind turbine selection according to the wind energy assessment, and the annual energy production, and something steps that are not included here by this, no was the scope of this investigation. But with the annual energy production estimation, we can calculate the levelized cost of energy and recovery time and something like that. So the application of the SWOT analysis is in order to identify the strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And after that, that's our factors, our qualitative factors, we can introduce a qualitative analysis by the analytic hierarchy process with the AHP. This tool is very used to identify the priority of the all factors and the all factors identified by the interview surveys of expert group. So the AHP analysis is consist on 5 ways comparison and identify the priority of each category as S, W, O, or T. After that, the prioritization of all categories together. In the first steps, of the main 4 steps, we use the open access data from the power. We find the most probability wind speed of 32 provinces in our country around the urban areas in each country, where we use as well the Google map to select the positioning of the coordinate UTM code. So we use the 11 years and the wind profile for the select country has been extrapolated by the Herman law to the city. Normally the meteorological variables are the wind speed, wind direction, relative humidity, surface pressure, precipitation. Now to the wind turbine selection, we use the vertical axis wind turbine because it's more flexible and have better performance in the urban area. As we know, the selection of the wind turbine depends mainly on the installation, height, wind speed, obviously, the aerostatic integration to the urban area. And this turbine show here have a good reported performance by Resega in his investigation. And they have a 1 meter of diameter and sweep area of 5 meters squared. So these are good, good smart wind turbine with the low solidity shown in the picture. So yeah, we collect the data from the HIS open access, and we find the wave distribution for each country, and they calculate the annual energy production by the integrating the average wind speed to the power for each wind speed, and as well the power of the kinetic energy into the electricity. In the second phase, we use the SWOT analysis as the strategic planning method to evaluate the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. The SWOT analysis is identify the key factors, the qualitative way, and the factors can be internal and external. The internal ones are the strength and weakness, and the external some are the opportunity and threats. This depends very important by the experience of the users of the expert that we select. We send online survey and interview by 25 experts in the energy sector in different files in the Dominican Republic, and we get response from 20, and we clustering in 16 factors. The hierarchy, the analytic hierarchy process is a systematic technique that we can use to the prioritization, to establish prioritization of the factor in each category, and overall in the analysis is to establish the order of prioritization to decision making. So we use normally the SATI scale to evaluate the pathways calculation. After that, we use the eigenvalue of each matrix. After that, we calculate the consistency ratio in order to identify that the consistency ratio of the pairwise comparison are very good. For a matrix 4x4, the consistency ratio has to be less than the 10%. So these are some equations that we establish the method, and we use the comparison by the Excel spreadsheet in order to handle the data. So some results we have in our country, 32 provinces. We have on average in the 27, we identify that the margin are not good, 3.5 meters per second. When we see in the table the most potential energy in the red cycle, and on average we have 3.6 meters per second. In the last column we have the kilowatt per year, 1,145. This is calculated on the average data of all provinces. This is map show the dissemination of the potential of the urban country. Normally, the most higher value have been in rural province in our country, because it's normally that the urban wind energy flow and blow more in rural area. This is we have a Monte Cristi in the top on the left, with the good, according to this author. We have El Ceibo, Puerto Plata, La Altagracia, La Romana as identified as marginal between these steps of wind speed, and we have 27 provinces considered above wind energy potential. These are some chart because we use the calculation for each country, and this show the on average for the data on average for the whole country. When we see the wind speed, the lower wind speed is on September and October, and this information is very high correlate with the wind farm located in the most potential country, from data from the wholesale electricity market. And in the right side, we can see the harnessing according to the wind energy potential with the wind speed distribution according to the wave frequency and the power in watt to the selected wind turbine. And this is some extrapolation because we have in the capital city we have some construction that grow up in the vertical civil buildings, and we can extrapolate the potential of the wind energy according to the height over the ground. And we use the on-site measurement to carry on some investigation to validate this wind energy potential. Yesterday, we received 4 meteorological stations to be placed in 4 cities in our country in order to validate the data from the HIS information presented. We know the HIS information overestimate always the data, and we use the relation between both. According to the SWOT AHP analysis, we have 16 experts. We can see in the first table the position of the high professional background with 20 years of this kind of expertise. And in the second table, we can see the positive and the negative factors in internal and external condition. When the strength as identified by the expert to this kind of technology is lower greenhouse emission, availability in the urban side near to the building, possibility to the self-generation, and sales to the surplus energy, and quickness and long period recovery. Sales price energy to the grid is less than the purchase price to the grid, and negative impact to the human life. It's like something the visual impact of the wildlife, negative impact to the wildlife, and the opportunity taking advantage of the public regulation decarbonization metrics in our country, new business model to new company start up in this area, taking advantage of the incentive in the lab. And trips, we have the bureaucracy, conflict of the protect area, the resistance of the pollution, and identification of potential data by the government. This is the AHP evaluation. We can see the factor priority for each category. The category is the strength, weakness, opportunity, and risk. When we can see that the strength in overall is at 10%, and the opportunity in overall have 60%, and the quickness is 5%, and the tricks have 26%. When we can see each factor in each category. Each category have 4 factors. We can see the factor priority. We have 4 factors per category, and the overall factor we can see in the last priority according to the SATI method to the ASP prioritization. So in all case, we have a consistency ratio below than the 10%. That is good, and pair-wise comparison, and the consistency of the analysis is very nice. This is a graphical representation of the last table when we can see the as mentioned before the good positive evaluation from the SPER have the 69%, and the bad negative factor represent the 30%, including the internal and external. The negative are more related to the price and the payback to the investment, because the urban wind energy here is the 7 to 10 times above to the levelized cost of energy to the grid electricity. We have electricity subsidized by the government, but however the smart wind turbine depends on the wind speed locally, and we have no enough wind speed in urban area. In 2 places we have carry on-site measure, and the research provide to insight in order to establish a key strategy to the fostering the urban wind energy implementation. But we normally use the investigation of the technology. However, the investigation to the stakeholders are very important, and these techniques show some insight in light to complement the technical study of the wind energy to have a decision-making approach. The main conclusion of the investigation of the framework has to identify the urban wind energy potential of the entire country by his data, and after that, the identification of the factors that influence on the dissemination and systematic use of the energy is very important. So the analysis show that on average, that over the 10 meters height open access obtained, we have 4 or 5 countries with good or marginal potential, and the predominant wind are from the north to the south. And the AHP analyze the opportunity is the higher prioritization to indicate to the urban wind energy, and that will show that it's very positive to go in soon to stratificate more strategy, because the people here are not use the law to the incentive, because the PV technology is more cheaper, and it's more easy to go, and it's not rotating equipment. So in order to fostering the urban wind energy here, we thinking that these techniques for decision making can be provide insight in order to revise the regulation and provide new approach. Okay, and the number 4. Okay, in addition, we take in consideration to the hurricane in our country, we have prepared another investigation to resilience with energy system. We are presenting in this work. This paper is related to the urban wind energy resilience system available on Science Direct. And this is the paper that I showing here very quickly. The key factors. We are in the last 2 months. We went in the last 2 months presenting the ECOS conference in Spain, the CFD simulation, CFD simulation of the building scale, and we are now submission on the on a review on the review of urban wind energy with resilient approach to the tropical city. It's something like that. This is a 2 months submission on the processing. We hope to get the publication in the coming months. Now we are working on the another paper to the RASI matrix is to identify the accountable is the top, the responsible, follow, the consorted, and the informed institution that be aligned and have responsibility to the urban wind energy fostering or dissemination in the urban area in our country. The matrix, the RASI matrix is very used to identify actors, and the SWOT HFP analysis is very used to identify actors. No, and this is a complementary investigation that can be very insights, provide insight to our responsibility of the institution. Those are institutions and associations from renewable energy, the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Economy, local banks and international banks, and something like that. The meteorological ministry that have to accelerate the measurement in urban area, but normally the measurement are in rural area. But those are 28 institutions related to the energy system in the smart, medium, and large scale, and our consideration to analyze to establish the responsibility and roles to each one. Thank you very much. We have open to any questions.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. Is there any question? From the digital audience?
I'm sorry for my English. It's not very
perfect. Don't worry. I guess you have been clear enough if there are no questions. And you can write your mail in the chat if someone has some contact, or just if someone someone thinks of some question, then you can just write it in the chat. But thank you very much for now.